Okay, let's make sure that this guy's going to launch first. Hello, everybody. My name is Elaine, and this is the Cronecast at the Rising Moon. Welcome back. This is the Spirit Guide Weekly, Divine Guidance. What do your spirit guides need you to know this week? Let's make sure that I'm not making any noise here. So this is the Spirit Guide Weekly Divine Guidance. These are messages from your spirit guides for the date range of January 4th, 2021 to January 10th, 2021. On this channel, I do predictive tarot, I do yes and no tarot, I do active magic, candle magic tarot, and I also do this, the Divine Guidance Spirit Guide Weekly. What do your spirit guides need you to know? So we have 4 piles and a pick a card presentation. I have the camera in a close-up on them right now. All of the candles are anointed with a different kind of conjure oil. I don't like to go over them until the time of the reading because I don't like it to influence your decision. Take a moment, concentrate, see which one calls out to you. That's the message you're most meant to receive this week, but be aware that you can pick more than one pile as all of the conjure oils pertain to a different area of life. I'm going to give you just a moment, and then I'm going to cover the camera for just a second as I readjust it and back it up so that I'm in the frame as well. And we'll get reading on this. 1, 2, 3. You're going to hear bad noise too as I readjust the camera. Here comes the bad noise. 1, 2, 3. All right. And I cover the camera so that when I'm backing it up, nobody gets seasick, basically. All right. And here we go. Turn on the light. This up. Make sure that we're in the frame here. See if I have to readjust the lens or the camera or anything. All right, so here we go. We have 4 piles. If you've had a chance to pick, we're going to get started here in just a second. My time delay is still on. Looks like I'm well in the frame. There we go. World's grossest candle snuffer makes its first appearance of 2021. Hello, everybody. Happy New Year. We made it to the next year. It's a fresh start, a fresh hope. All new things are happening and the energy feels great. I've spent all day making love shaker jars. Fridays are my days for making love shakers. And I'm covered in love conjure oil right now. So I smell like a floral paradise because most of the love oils actually have a floral emphasis with them. Our candles today are gold to try and attract things. And we're going to get started with pile number 1. I'm going to edit in timestamps after the broadcast. Let's see what we've got here. All right. And your candle, pile number 1, is going to be anointed with, ooh, get down. Here we go. Your candle is anointed with something that's underneath my hand. Wealthy Way oil. This is our financial candle. I try and do a finance, a psychic, a magical one, and a love-focused one every week. Sometimes I switch it up just a little bit to keep you guys guessing. All right, let's get going. We'll move this guy over here. Gold is a good color for attraction. In candle magic, there's a corresponding color to almost everything that you're trying to do. Green is money. Gold also helps attract wealth. Green is also for health and prosperity too. All right, let's get going here. We'll start with our oracle cards. And I have the, gosh, I don't even remember what you are. I think you're the Gilded Tarot is bringing us our predictive spread. Felix Felicitas, power symbol to create lucky serendipitous events. All right, awesome. Well, with the Wealthy Way, maybe it's a good idea to buy a lottery ticket. Let's find out. Allow yourself to connect with what you're passionate about. This is the Enchanted Art Oracle. It doesn't have any deeper meaning to it. It's just these little sayings under fairly famous works of art, and I've just always enjoyed it. So, indeed, you work best when you're working with something that you love, don't we all? All right, I have the answers are within taking shelter. Always trust your instincts. Always trust your intuition. It can be a little bit blocked. And when it is, make sure that you take the time to align your chakras. But you do have your answers within. Happiness comes to us from the Soul's Destiny Oracle. Increase and kindred partnership. Good. That's a better feeling of connection. Those are both from the Quantum Oracle. I have rejuvenate. Well, it's a new year. I like that idea. From the dark mirror, which is about the shadow work that we all need to do, we all live best when we're in balance. So we have to kind of confront, we all have icky stuff within. We all have, less than positive attributes that we try and learn to overcome and to live in balance with. But denying our shadow side causes all kinds of problems. So kind of getting to know your lesser self is one of the ways that you can overcome it. And you have downcast pride. Okay. You might have had a disappointment. I have breathe and TikTok. There is time left to do many things. You might be feeling like you need to accomplish things as quickly as possible, give things the time they need to develop. I love the happiness, increase, and kindred partnership side by side there. Here's hoping. Hopefully it's a good business relationship as well. Let's get going. What's the pile number one's wealthy way? What is the predictive spread for this week? I hope everybody had a good and safe new year. I hope we are headed into a much better year. It was a tough one. It was a tough one, but I'm so glad we all had each other. Let's get going here. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? All right, you. All right, this is the Page of Wands in reverse. That is a card for frustration, not being able to get something that is important to you started. But that is just the first card in our predictive spread. Let's see what else we can get going here. I have the Eight of Pentacles, working towards mastery of something, putting in the effort, seeing the return on effort as well. Justice card in reverse, being slightly out of balance. Sometimes it's an unfair situation. It really kind of depends. I've got the Death card in reverse. I have the Devil in the upright. This can be the card for Capricorns. The Devil is not always a bad card. It isn't. It can be about addiction. It can be about codependency. It can be about the things that we do that detract from our own happiness. I have the Judgment card in the upright. Well, that's a lot of major arcana right in a row. The Justice card, I'm sorry, the Judgment card is the card of what I do. I channel the Archangel Gabriel, which is also the spirit of air. It's also the spirit of advanced communication. We build a narrative around existing powers, give them labels and names. The belief system I grew up in called this particular power the Archangel Gabriel, so I've always related to it as such. This is being called to a life's purpose as well. Interesting. Truth around something that may not be good for you. Let's find out. Queen of Cups in the upright. The Tower in the upright. The Star in reverse. Lots and lots and lots of major arcana. Major arcana represent fateful forces at work in our lives. Some things can be changed, and some things need to happen as part of our life's purpose, as part of our life's path. Two Wands in the upright is good choices being available. Ten of Swords in reverse. I never like this card. It's emotional processing. Five of Pentacles. That can be anxiety. Gosh, that's a lot of anxiety. Ten of Wands in reverse with the Magician in reverse. All right, wealthy way. Well, we got a couple of influences here that are going to be a little bit tougher. King of Swords in the upright. Okay. The World in the upright. Two of Swords in reverse. Well, we're coming out of the gate strong with a lot of big things happening for group number one. Knight of Swords in the upright, swift progress. Page of Cups in reverse. Five of Swords in the upright. The Fool in the upright. I want one more. Here we go. That is the Ten of Pentacles in the upright. Okay, let's get talking about this. Well, it's a slightly uneven energy because it looks like you have a situation that has been taking quite a long time to resolve. And you've been putting in all the work that you can on it. You've been like kind of leaning in on the effort, and it almost feels as if you're not making any progress. You've been trying and trying, and nothing has been coming to, like, nothing's bearing fruit quite yet. This is the card that tells us it's about to. The Devil in the upright can be a card for overwork. It can be a card for sexual passion. It can be the card for, as I said, multiple forms of addiction. It can also be the card for Capricorns. We are in Capricorn season at the moment. I don't think that's what it's referring to, though. It looks like there is a fresh start in your life with somebody who they may be struggling with some behaviors that or habits or engaging in practices that are not necessarily serving them, but it looks as if they're having that clarity surrounding it. They're starting to come towards a healing energy with it. They may be looking to you because there is a communication hinted at here to try and help them. Because I have the divine intervention card, the tower, and the upright. The tower is a very misunderstood card. It does mean that there can be a complete and sudden change, but it is also clarity. It is also epiphanies. It is these two cards together suggest that they're coming to a realization about who you are in their life. Now, as this pertains to the wealthy way, interesting. Yeah, there is something happening with an employment situation. You're going to have an opportunity to experience kind of a lot of increase. And because you have anxiety and concern surrounding money, you're going to be very tempted to simply put in way, way too much effort, thinking that if I don't make hay while the sun shines, what's going to happen? Like, does the sun go away? Do we no longer have the opportunity to keep making this money? And you're going to want to overcommit and overextend. Please watch that. Please watch that. I have a fairly small collective because I attract developing psychics. I attract people who are very empathetic. I attract people who are capable of manifestation and usually doing magic, even if they're not practicing it. So I'm not going to be one of the big readers simply because I have people in my collective who are essentially light workers, light warriors, star seeds, leaders, and healers. So it's always going to be a very small group, but it's a good, strong group. And I'm really glad to have everybody here. But what's happening here is that as you feel more and more purpose in what you're doing, you're overextending yourself, and it's costing you on several levels, particularly emotionally. Your guides are asking that you really watch that. You really watch that. Remember, you're not under as much strain and stress and deadline pressure as you put on yourself. You're actually in a more secure energy than you realize. You're very protected. That's going to be the other thing about this particular collective, because we all are likely going towards a purpose. We all have a lot of protection around us, and protection does not mean that you get a very smooth existence, that it's opulent, or that you're always, pampered. But what it does mean is that try not to be so worried. If you put in the effort, the universe will kind of make sure that you're as taken care of as you can be, and you do dwell in a very safe energy. Listen, there's something here where a past relationship that really kind of yanked you all over the place is going to have some clarity around it. It could be that it's like a realization that you start to embrace a completely different way of living, and you're able to kind of free yourself from something in the past. That's that tower energy as well. It does seem like you're turning around and walking away from something you've been carrying for kind of a long time. The Five of Pentacles you've got two fives here, which is the energy of change combined with the tower. Listen, January is going to be bringing a bunch of things to you. They all look kind of good to me. But your trust is pretty damaged is the thing, because you have been put through the ringer, particularly within the last year emotionally. Maybe not financially. Maybe you have been dwelling in this kind of more secure energy than a lot of people. I don't think this is a job-seeking group. If you're looking for a job, I don't think this is your group. I think this is a group that your work has been like, you've been pouring in effort. You try really, really hard. You're very interested in finding that which you're meant to be doing. And in many cases, you already have. It also may be information that is coming to you over the course of the next month. Wow, I'm getting ringing. Be aware. You have stopped. The other meaning of the devil in the upright can be about sensual pleasure, and not sensual, not necessarily sexual. You have not been enjoying your life very much. You've been putting in a lot of effort, and it's all very dutiful. You're very dedicated, but you haven't been really experiencing life in a way to enjoy having a physical body, enjoy your food, your potentially potentially sex, but it has to do more with celebrating your physical house more. You've been very, I think, dedicated to moving forward on goals, and your personal happiness, your life experience has been something that you've kind of shelved and haven't been believing has much importance. This is that same group. This group that switches around a bit, where like you're this very dutiful person. You genuinely are. And you do like feel like you're tapped in and in connection with some things, but your team, you're not, you've come to believe something that just isn't true. You've come to believe that you're here to be in service, and that the guides and the guardians around you don't particularly care what personally happens to you. They actually really, really do. And if you could relax a little bit more, you'd be able to assess your situation and understand, even if you, even just recently, there's been more and more that has to do with personal fulfillment coming to you. That is coming to you from them. They have been guiding you towards better friendships, but better relationships. You're not too badly closed off any longer, although you really used to be. You really used to be. Your third eye is after a period of really being blocked by, I think, some coping that you had to do, some healing and coping with. That Ten of Swords in reverse is extreme emotional pain, and it blocked you for a while. You didn't, your discernment was really off. Your ability to see was really off. You actually have very good psychic. Are in reverse with the Two of Swords in reverse. Your fear is that like you've just kind of lost the plot and lost your way. The answers are within. As you move through January, and particularly in the first few days of January, do some third eye activation meditations to try and access your ability to see again. You have it for like the world overall, and you may have it for other people. I get a lot of people who are also readers and, like to, tarot cards and oracle cards. You don't believe in it for yourself any longer. Remember, we're limited in what we can see for ourselves because we're not allowed to have too much power over everybody else. And so even like very gifted psychics, we genuinely don't know very much about what's coming up for us. You're being given information on something that you keep kind of disregarding. It does have to do with forms of personal happiness and a connection to another person. You've been reassured recently, and you're kind of not buying it. Like you really have. It's interesting. It's not that you're hopeless. It's not that you're depressed, and it's not that you are angry. You just have stopped investing in the idea that what you're hoping for is coming to you. That is not going to stop it coming to you with the Knight of Swords in the upright. But this inability to invest in good things will happen for me as well is one of the things that's been blocking you. The World in the upright with the Knight of Swords in the upright, there's just, look for like almost the momentum behind some success that you're achieving is really very, very powerful in the coming weeks. And it starts almost immediately at the beginning of January. If you run your own business, or if you've been trying to achieve something, gosh, know that you've almost like crested the hill and are like, there's a lot of plenty headed towards you. That's that 10 of Pentacles in the upright. I've got some indication you actually may not be physically well right now. Take the time, rest. It is okay to take a couple of days off. You really struggle with that. Page of Cups in reverse with the Five of Swords in the upright and the Fool in the upright. After a conflict that was really very dispiriting, you're experiencing exuberance again in your life. It's catching you a little off guard. Like it kind of came out of nowhere too, where it was almost as if somebody peeled something back, and you feel very happy and very hopeful. And that's why that whole not investing in good things for yourself is coming on. It's throwing you ever so slightly off balance because your mood is great, but like you're not. this is really hard to figure out how to say. You're not investing enough in good things for yourself. You're not. And I don't mean money and I don't mean time. I mean belief and faith. You have a lot of belief. You have a lot of faith. You don't have a lot of faith for things changing for yourself any longer. And kind of your guides are just saying, like, hang on, tick tock, breathe. By the way, this is one of the things that is try to relax, try to meditate. Tick tock, things are headed your way in a very swift fashion. Rejuvenate. That is, you actually really do need to take a little bit of care of your like physical health. And I'm not saying that I've got anything scary here, just you're a little run down from overwork. You're in a really good mood, but again, you're not investing in the belief that your life will expand in a personal capacity. And it's going to do so very soon. Kindred partnership and increase. You do have somebody who there is a redefinition of a relationship that you've had. And it's a very welcome one. And that is coming to you very shortly. And very shortly, that is within the first couple of weeks of January. There is that downcast pride. Somebody really contract. Wow, storm warning. Happy family. And second chakra archangel Ariel. That, I swear, I think that devil card is about passion. I don't get to say this very often, but group number one, like, I think you're on the verge of starting, if it's not like a returning relationship, it's a new relationship. And it does appear to have all of the building blocks of a long-term one. It does look as if it's been like you, and I think you've like reached the point where you don't believe in that stuff any longer. You're like, yeah, whatever. Because something really, really, really did hurt you. And you kind of have started to, you don't resent being alone any longer, but you think that's how it's going to be going forward. And you're not right. You're not right. And you just kind of soulmate. Yep. Passion. Yep. Worth waiting for. Divine timing is at work in your love life. Tick tock. Guess what, group number one? It kind of seems like divine timing is like it's finally come to be the time. And you did develop patience. You did develop the ability to wait and see. And in doing so, though, you became resigned is way too negative of a word for it, but you became accustomed to the idea that there wasn't going to be a particular area of your life, and it does appear to be personal, that would ever be fleshed out again. It is about to be. It is about to be. And there's actually nothing you need to do. This is coming to you because it is part of your fateful path. You have healed so much. Is there anything you want to tell them? You don't get a lot of information on this because you have a tendency to, recently it's been to disregard anything that, like, if something's good in a reading that you get or something, you just assume, oh, that's sweet, but I'm sure that's the part of the reading that's not true. They're not giving you information on things any longer. And it's not like they keep telling you, this has like been at least 3 or 4 weeks of you kind of getting indications that, yeah, no, you're right on the verge, you're right on the verge, you're on the cusp of something happening. And you just flatly don't believe it. Like you think it's cute and you're not upset, but you just don't believe that it's coming to you any longer. Like whenever you encounter it in a reading, you think that's the part that the reader didn't nail. If you feel like anything that happens that the way that you kind of settled into, I'm not getting what I want out of this life, is to not be bitter about it, not to feel like a victim, and not to dwell on it any longer. But like you're not hopeless, but you don't invest any energy in that any longer. And you've gotten to the point where you just really disregard anything that comes to you about that. You're just like, yeah, no, I don't have a personal life. I'm not going to. I'm just going to work. I've got a job to do. And I really like my job. And so it's cool. You've been starting to explore more and more about your personal abilities. And you know that you're working towards the energy of living your life's purpose. But you're, coming to life. Something is coming to you. It is a personally fulfilling relationship. It may be somebody you already know. It could be somebody new, but there is a new form of that relationship coming to you. And it doesn't matter whether or not like you're investing in it and you're believing in it. The only thing that I'm getting is that your spirit guides are like wryly amused by the fact that you're like, whenever, and you love tarot, you love getting things read, you love like divination, but you only pay attention to a particular area of it at this point. Anything having to do with security, stability, and conflicts, you're like all over it. Anything having to do with your personal life, unless it's a little bit dire, like you don't invest in it. You don't invest in it. And they understand why. But they keep trying to tell you, like, no, it's right there. It's right there. Just try to believe, try to like be open, be receptive. And again, you have it's almost like you feel you outgrew that. Like it's childish or something to believe that that's coming to you. It's coming to you anyway. And your spirit guides are very anxious for it to do so because they're hoping it will help them reestablish better communication with you, because you stopped listening to them for you. You just have. And that is one of the things that's blocking you, is your inability to think that you are truly going to receive all forms of abundance. So group number 1, that was an interesting message because there wasn't a lot of like very specific detail about this will happen on Thursday, that'll happen on Wednesday. But what there was like kind of, it's almost like they're, banging on your door going, no, we're here. Your life is arriving. Do you want it? And you do, but it's very funny. You do believe in this. You do believe in spirit guides. You do believe in guidance, but you have stopped believing that anything is actually meant for you personally. And it is for emotional safety reasons, but it's no longer bitter or painful. It just has to do with, shout out to Insurance Agent John. It just has to do with emotional safety. It's good that you're feeling more optimistic. You do still work too much. Try to relax and be careful, because you've got something that's like, it's starting, you've been working so much, you've worn down your physical health a little bit. Please take a rest and understand that within January, and it looks like it's very shortly, you have the beginning of a relationship that I don't even want to say you've been anticipating it. You don't any longer. You don't. You've just kind of been like, I have other things. And that is when it's coming towards you. So I expect that I'll be hearing more about this in the coming weeks, but you have something, you have somebody that is developing in your life, and you are probably going to want to seek guidance on that afterwards, because it's fairly complicated, but it's the right thing. That's what they want you to know. All right. So that was pile number 1. We're moving on to pile number 2. Your candle, I will edit in timestamps after this. If you want to book me for a private reading, there is a link to my website in the description box down below. I'd love a chance to read for you in real life. Oh, also, I did 2021 predictions on Paranormal Karen's podcast. So that went up today. And I think I'm actually the first reader up on that. All right, here we go. This is communication. Communication is great for no contact situations, but it can also be good for jobs. So let's see what's there. Let's start with your oracle cards. Protection, strong protective magic for the family and the home. I do a lot of protective magic. I actually had a student on Monday, and we were doing a concealment spell, which is one of the forms of protective magic. Listen to the still small voice within. Again, that is trusting your answers within. Navigating by the stars, follow your bliss. These are very positive cards. I have embracing. I love this. It's a beautiful deck. I hardly ever use it in private readings with commitment. And I have fragmented energy. Let's do this the other way around. Fragmented energy and commitment. Laugh at your demons. This is for protective magic. One of the things that is best to dispel any dark energies, any dark entities, is to try and raise your vibe. I have from the Dark Mirror, which is about our shadow influences and our shadow aspect, envious gluttony. I don't think I've gotten this one before. Okay. Could be about emotional eating, so be a little careful with that. We have why and a leg up. You are receiving assistance on things, and allow yourself to. You don't accept help easily. You don't ask for it easily. You don't accept it easily. And you have, why is, of course, trying to question things. Why have things happened? This is one of the more positive energies around this particular, this is spirit guide stuff. You're going to be finding out soon why something happened in a slightly disruptive fashion. Something happened and it didn't go as planned. You're going to be finding out why soon. And by soon, I mean, it should be within the next 14 days or so. Let's get going here. What do I have for the predictive spread for group number 2, the communication? Look for clarity around something that has been troubling you. Fragmented energy, huh? The Hierophant in the upright. This can be the card for Taurans. It can be the card for universities. It can be the card for hospitals. 9 of Swords. It's a card of fear, essentially, not sleeping well, anxiety, kind of like putting yourself across the rack at 4 a.m. in the morning when you wake up, where like everything that's wrong in the world occurs to you. 7 of Cups in reverse. Things like a plan being formed. Knight of Pentacles in reverse in the recent past. 4 of Cups in the upright. That's that dissatisfaction card. The Moon in the upright and confusion. That can be the card for Pisces. I have the 3 of Pentacles in the upright, working well with others. The Sun in reverse, the Fool in reverse. Okay. I have the Knight of Wands in reverse. A lot of reversals, my friends. 7 of Swords in reverse, a card for clarity. 4 of Pentacles in the upright. How many 4s do we have down? Okay. I have the 3 of Cups in reverse with the Empress in reverse with the 10 of Wands in the upright. You've been spending too much time alone. Sometimes there's not a lot we can do about that, particularly surrounding COVID, but the fragmented energy with commitment and a leg up, the 3 of Pentacles, like just try to continue to connect with people. You've been isolating yourself again. I've got Knight of Cups in reverse with the Strength card in reverse. That's not any type of insult. It's just a lot of introverts like to withdraw into self when anything is troubling them, when their stress level gets high, when things really start pressing down on them. And it, as natural a thing as it seems to you, it actually exacerbates the problem. So even if you're not talking to people about what's troubling you, please make sure that you're talking to people just regularly and outside of whatever it is you do for work as well. You do have a tendency to kind of just you socially isolate yourself a great deal. All right, I've got the 6 of Wands in the upright, progress, journeys, 8 of Swords in reverse. This is turning out well. 3 of Wands in reverse, second 3 in reverse with the Page of Pentacles in the upright. The Queen of Cups in the upright. And then the Queen of Swords in the upright. Interesting. Queen, queen, queen. Okay, let's get talking about this. There's progress in an emotionally upsetting situation that has been taking kind of a long time. The delay in it that has caused you like no small amount of anxiety. Like there have been times, this has been going on for a while. There is resolution within the month of January. There is more and more information coming to you over the next couple of weeks. This could be a job situation. Where you've been trying to find the secure energy within your life. The state of the world has really, really troubled you a great deal. To feel more secure about your life and in your energy, you keep withdrawing into self. You are being asked to make sure that you continue to try and interact with others. It doesn't really come that naturally to you. You're a deeply introverted person, and that's okay. You're not being asked to do anything that makes you uncomfortable, but to please remember that it exacerbates a tendency towards depression, which you've worked really hard on and you've been doing really well with. But you've started to withdraw again. You've started to withdraw again. And I'm not sure why. You've got yourself convinced that you need to face something alone, that that's one of the things that you need to do to heal. And it's okay for you to deal with the details of something by yourself. You are actually like, you're no longer like triggered into anything, but please don't isolate yourself. It has a tendency to cause your stress to mount. And so you are being asked to make sure that even if it's like frivolous type of interactions where, hey, what's up? What are you up to? Please make sure you're doing that. You have actually people in your life who really enjoy your sense of humor, because you're very funny. You're able to laugh at the darker things in life, and in a way that like is lighthearted and makes light of them. You take things seriously, but not too seriously. And you're able to help people lighten their own loads with that exact kind of energy. Please make sure you're communicating with people. You will be happy that you stood up for something, and you did. You've been trying to stand up for something that is important to you. You're going to end up happy that you did. And it's a small conflict. It's actually not a big one. It's felt like a big one. It's felt like a big one simply because it's been very draining to your personal energy. But you're going to end up happy that you kind of stood your ground on something. And it will be, there's closure on it for, again, within the month of January. And here's the thing, I don't think you even believe that's possible any longer. It's been some kind of long campaign around something. You will be feeling more secure. You have your guard up. Yeah. You have your guard up with other human beings kind of a lot, and not in a like a cold and distant way, but you really, you have your guard up. You protect yourself from true connection with people. Try to understand that it is important to be independent. It is important. You may have been having to heal from codependency, or you may have been healing from a prior relationship that was damaging to you. And relationship does not mean romance necessarily. It could be family, it could be work, or it could be romantic. And you've been trying to heal from that. And one of the residual, you've had a hard time figuring out how to still like carry your own burdens and solve your own problems while still allowing people in. And you have a tendency to retreat into isolation as one of the ways that you cope. And you're not unhappy while you're doing it, but you're just, it's not that you're closed off, it's that you have settled into like a solitary energy in your downtime. And you're just being asked to please make sure that you continue to allow people in. And you really, really struggle with that. You struggle with having people in your life. And it's not like, you're actually very well liked. So it's not about that. Here's the Archangel Gabriel card, action with the hostilities card. Yeah, this conflict is coming to an end. The Archangel Gabriel card, the fifth chakra, Archangel Gabriel that's truth and also communication. Oh, well, that makes sense. There is action around that. And again, you're going to end up happy that you took this on. You're not defeated at all. There's no energy of defeat around you, but you have, here's the garden and the gate. That's that isolating by choice too much energy with the sun. Okay. Oh, attachment. Woman holding heart. What's going on here? Oh, there is a conflict resolving. This is within the next 2 to 3 weeks. And it did have to do with a prior relationship. A new beginning is coming to you. A new beginning in relationships is coming to you. You're too closed down around that concept now. And for a while, like, you weren't. It was everything that you wanted. You were hopeful, but like it wasn't in a very healthy way. And as you've become more healthy, like there's the Three of Wands in reverse, the Three of Cups in reverse. Now that can be about third party situations. It's just, I don't think it is. I think it's about, like, you've decided that you're a happy island. Like, the whole no man is an island thing. You've decided that you are, but that you're happy enough as it. And gentle gardener, your efforts are going to return to you, spirit of place. Your mood is good, but your metamorphosis, yeah, things are changing. This is a strange one because more is coming into your life, and your spirit guides aren't asking you to change much of anything. They just are trying to prepare you for the ways in which you have found contentment and peace of late, and you've been doing a really good job with that. You really have. There is going to be a change with that. There's going to be a change with that, and it is increasing, like, people in your life. There's a potential person coming into your life who you're just a little bit too closed off to that idea. And it's weird because half the time I'm giving messages about how, hey, you have to love yourself first, and you're being asked to spend some time alone so you can heal. Apparently you healed, and it was about as much fun as healing generally is, because this is all very difficult energy. And as you healed, you've entered into this, like I said, the happy island type of energy is surrounding you, where you've decided that just maybe you're not going to do this anymore, have like relationships. It's not going to work out that way. And like, this is soon. This is soon. I think you gave up on something you weren't. Yeah. Religious factors, getting to know each other. Your love life is influenced by your religious upbringing and spiritual path. As you reveal your innermost selves to each other, your bond deepens. Children, this is healing formative damage. Let go of control issues. Allow the situation to unfold naturally. See, that's it. So you regularly check in with this type of thing, and you haven't been told about something that you used to ask about a lot, and you kind of just don't anymore. You just don't. And it's changing. It's changing, but like very recently, you have settled into the I like my life the way it is energy, which is another form of stagnation. Like, you're a happy enough person, like you're healed, you like find joy in your own company, and just recently apparently you've decided that's going to be my life. And your spirit guides keep trying to let you know, no, it's not. And they're trying to let you know this because, like, I think something's coming to you very shortly, and there's a part of you that has already decided, if that appears in my life, I'm not going to let it in. It's not worth the risk. It's not worth the pain. And I do think we're talking about a romantic relationship. And it does appear to be with somebody who is known to you. And I think you gave up on it. I think you gave up on it. And it is very slightly different in the form that is coming to you, but you're just being kind of informed versus asked to do anything, to allow a slight change to bring something to you. This is a very strange message. There is something coming to you. You used to hope for it quite a bit. You stopped hoping and were despondent for a while. After the despondency, you healed, and now you're a perky little person about it. You're fine with like the progression of things, but you have decided to close a door that like basically your spirit guides have stuck a foot into, going, no, you're not closing that door. You're not meant to be closing that door. They found you very, they know how stubborn you are, but you have this very definitive energy where you keep defining things. It's not rigidly, but you want to define things for very long periods of time. It is one of the ways you seek security. Things are changing in something that used to be very important to you. And you didn't get what you wanted in the time period you wanted it with. And so you just kind of turned something off inside of you. They really do. They're struggling with you of late because you're either like, it's all or nothing with you. It's all or nothing with you. Something is coming into your life. It's coming back into your life. It is somebody who wants to communicate with you, and let them. Like, you very recently have made a couple of determinations around a particular person, and it's just, you haven't quite guessed right because you're a little blind to your own stuff. It is not taking the form or the shape that you used to think it would. And that's not a bad thing, and it's not permanent, the form that it's taking. Try to open back up. Try to open back up. You spend too much time alone, and you're happy alone, but you're not, it's not sad, it's not depressed, it's not like, oh, I'm like, I will just soldier on alone as a hermit and live like Heidi's grandfather with my goats or something. But you're very cheerful about like living out the rest of your days by yourself or something. And that is changing, and it appears to be changing with the person you hoped you would have. But the manner that this relationship is coming back to you is just different. And your feelings towards this person have become different. And you think that closes a door very firmly on something. And you're a very definite person. You like definition quite a bit. And just try to relax. You never knew that person as well as you thought you did, and there's more going on there. And it's all good stuff, okay? So that was like one of the more meandering and stranger messages I've had to deliver in a while. Basically, it is the universe asking you to please release attachments to outcomes and allow them to bring, like, you've wanted this for kind of a long time. And it is like this very lovely thing that is trying to come to you. Allow increase. Okay, that was group number 2. I will edit in timestamps after the broadcast. If you'd like to book me for a private reading, there is a link to my website in the description box down below. This is very scattered today. It must have something to do with the energy. I have pile number 3, Irresistible Me. I use this a lot in magic, particularly for any type of domination magic. And I do some. It's all very positive stuff, like convincing people to make positive change through energetic healing. But Irresistible Me is about not being able to resist somebody. Okay, I have Insight. Opens the third eye to strengthen intuition. Everybody's getting unblocked. It's got to be that whole, we've entered into the age of Aquarius. Let go of perfection. It's good enough, and so are you. Don't let perfect be the enemy of good or perfect. It's allowing things, again, things don't have to take exactly the shape that you need them, that you had been envisioning for them to be very, very good things. All right, I have choosing your path. All is possible. All right, I have fulfillment. Yay! With true love. Gosh, there's been a lot of love stuff this week. And optimism. With reevaluate your priorities. Are you going to be another group that's being told you're working too much? Addicted is the shadow influence. This is the dark mirror, and our shadow self, our shadow influence, we need to learn to live in balance with it, to understand our less than glorious attributes in order to be able to heal what we can. But it's not about like negating the darkness within, it's understanding it so that you can continue to evolve and improve. And I also have no place like home with co-create. Okay. Interesting. No place like home, of course, is that feeling of belonging. Co-create is working with others. True love and optimism. Okay. Let's find out what that's about. Okay, let's go. What do we got for group number 3? Irresistible me. What's going on for group number 3? Irresistible me. Okay. 2 more times. 1 and 2. Yeah. See what it has to say. The Ace of Cups in the upright with the Ace of Swords in the upright. All right. With the Queen of Cups in the upright, the Knight of Pentacles in the upright in the recent past. I have the High Priest in the upright. This is the Hierophant card. That can be Tauruses. It's got the number 5, so it's usually the energy of change. The Knight of Wands in the upright with the 7 of Cups in the upright, with the 9 of Swords in the upright, the Chariot in the upright, the Devil in the upright. Ooh, the Devil with addicted. Yikes. Okay, not that that's anything wrong. It's just I do have a segment of my collective that you've been involved with or care very deeply about, somebody who has some addiction issues. Looks like there is more to come there. The Lovers in reverse, choices being made around that, huh? 10 of Pentacles in reverse with the Judgment card in the upright, the Temperance card in reverse. I have the 5 of Wands in reverse. I have the Page of Wands in the upright. I have the 5 of Pentacles in the upright with the Justice card in reverse. Very unfair situation that has caused you no small amount of grief is changing. 2 of Swords in the upright is the opening of your third eye. I've been getting this so much in all of these reads. Everybody, if you could, like, I'm always turning people over to Meditative Mind or Healing Vibrations. If you have time, do a third eye opening meditation. 6 of Swords in the upright, 4 of Pentacles in the upright, being carried towards a more secure energy. King of Cups in reverse with the Empress in reverse, and then the 6 of Pentacles in the upright. Okay, well, there is, oh my goodness, things have been kind of up in the air in your life. There is a new relationship apparently starting in your life, and this is the 3rd group to get some version of that. There's somebody coming towards you who has a romantic interest in you. It may not be the person, or like, and by the way, if you're happily paired up, then this part of the message is not for you. But there's the start of something. There's progress made. It looks like you're going to receive a communication from a person who has a little bit of an interest in you. And it's going to take the time it has to develop. I don't think this is an instantaneous thing. And then also there is somebody in your life who appears to be going towards recovery for an addiction. And here's the thing, I don't think we're talking about the same person. Like, I think that you have been like kind of attached to somebody who has struggled with some, and addiction does not need to be, it's like self-punishing behaviors more than anything. They've been doing something that isn't good for them, and you've been very attached to them, very hopeful for them. And then kind of additionally, like, there's somebody who is starting to express some interest in you. And it looks like there's some confusion for you around what you're supposed to do with that. You're supposed to, you have a choice in that. You have a choice in that. You are being offered an alternative possibility to the person who I think you've had a lot of hopes around. You're being offered an alternative possibility. All is possible. Reevaluate your priorities. I'm going to go for some energy oracle cards here. I know I've fallen a little bit silent. I was not necessarily expecting this. I have so many twin flames in separation. I have people who've been waiting for somebody. I don't think you've been seeking a new relationship. I don't think you've been trying to date, and I don't think you've been looking. But somebody is entering your life who is like, they're going to have kind of an ardent interest in you. You've got feelings for somebody else. I think that it is going to be the moment where you kind of have to ask yourself, because I think you've been trying to give up on that connection. The connection to the person who is doing something that is not necessarily good for them. Action, hostilities, again, I do have like some sort of, this is another theme. There is something having to do with what is potentially a marriage. The world and the upright, that's a complete cycle card. There's something that's winding down around the thinking man in the upright, envy in the upright, angel of love in the upright. Oh, geez. Can I get one more? It is, all right. This is a little bit, the angel of strength. Can I get one more? Because that's a hard area to leave that on. A woman holding a heart. Okay, so group number 4, here's the gig. You have somebody who is going to be entering your life in the first couple of weeks of January, who is going to, like, they have it bad for you. It's not the person that you have thought a great deal about. And you've been trying to like let go of something having to do with that person. You've been trying to let go, I think, because they have an addiction issue. And you're going to be offered the choice of an alternative possibility with another person for another relationship. Whew, what are you going to do here? You have a resolution around the conflict, and it is a real resolution. It's not like there have been little dribs and drabs on trying to resolve a conflict in a separate area of your life that has to do with an area where you were treated unfairly. That is like drawing to a close within January. And you have somebody who quite simply wants to begin a relationship with you. And I don't think you go for it. I don't think you go for it. I think just very recently you've tried to let go of something that like you can feel like it's no longer drawing your focus and your attention as much as it used to be. I think you've kind of convinced yourself that maybe you didn't even really know the person that you have feelings for. And the universe is, I don't want to say they're testing that, because they're not. But they're going to put somebody in front of you who embodies a lot of the things you have hoped for. And I think it is at that point that you commit to one direction or another. And I do think that you get word from the person you've had so much interest in about where their life is going, and they can't be involved with you yet because I think they've just gone into recovery. And this is the point at which this, paths are diverging for you on, you're being offered the alternative possibility of pursuing a relationship with somebody who's a very sincere interest in you. They seem like a really good person. They've got all of their, ducks in a row. And there's a part of you that thinks that maybe it's time to move on from the person who has caused you pain, doubt, grief, a feeling of rejection. Will you? I don't think so. I don't think so. I think that you are truly in love with somebody. And it has not been an easy road, but that the very fact that there's like so much that's appealing about the person who is coming towards you, you are going to have one of those, what's wrong with me? I can't even go for this person. And this is going to be knowing, I believe, that like things can't get off the ground with the person that you've wanted because they have things to do. And you're going to have a question about which path you follow. I can't make your decisions for you. And never let a tarot card reader make your decisions for you. I give very direct advice, but please always know that like you are the person in charge of your trajectory and of your destiny and of your choices. The cards tell me things, I tell you, and then you decide. Here's the thing. I think there is a big part of you that wants to give up on the prior person because it's been disappointing and it's been difficult. And I don't think you can. I don't think you truly can. And it's going to cause you some frustration. It's going to cause you some frustration because like this is the person coming towards you embodies so many of the things that you've been hoping for in another person. And it causes you like to question whether or not, oh my goodness, whether or not you're a little bit broken because you can't let go of this person who isn't healthy enough to be in a relationship yet. Separation time of, yeah, stay optimistic about your love life. Okay, trust the situation is calling on you to have faith. Separation time apart from your partner is on the horizon, and stay optimistic about your love life. Positive thinking and faith will bring you romance. I think that you have given a lot of thought to who else might it be at this particular point. I think you have wondered and like decided, I don't really want anybody else, but I'm not really sure I want that other person any longer either, because they're just a little bit too screwed up. They're trying to unscrew themselves. They're trying to unscrew themselves, and kind of like there is somebody who I want to say it's a little bit of a rival for your affection. And you look at this person and you know that like any sane person would want to get involved with them. It's just going to cause, I'm not going to say it's not triggering. What it is frustrating because this happens like right at the point that you thought that you had finally gotten over what I suspect is that twin flame dynamic, where you thought, I can move on. If the right person comes along, I can move on. Somebody who embodies everything about what the right person might be like is coming into your life. And from what I see, you don't go for it. From what I see, you wait for your person. And if I sound a little bit bummed by that, I'm not. It looks like it causes you like some hand wringing, some like, oh dear God, what is wrong with me? Do I just only want to get involved with people who are a little bit punishing to me? No, you don't. That person genuinely is just your soulmate. And it is complicated and it has taken a really long time. And 2020 contributed to that. And part of what's going to go on, I think, is that like the person who is finally like re-entering your life, like they know how much like that they can't ask you to wait for them. Like it would be unfair. They know that part, but you want to because you love them. But you're going to be a little frustrated with the fact that you love them because sincerely, like the person who's coming towards you, they're very good in many respects, but you're going to find out that you can't love somebody by their resume, their person's resume. You love the more difficult person. And that's what it looks like to me. You'll decide what you decide, but it looks like to me that you decide to continue to wait for a person that you really and truly love. So group number 3, that was your reading. I apologize because that sounds like a bit of a frustrating experience. It does seem to happen within the month of January. And again, take that all under advisement. Maybe you'll just prove me wrong and be like, no, lady, I went with the person who looks so good on paper and doesn't have all that baggage or need to heal. I don't think so. I will edit in timestamps after the broadcast. We're moving on to pile number 4. Remember, if you want to book me for a private reading, there's a link to my website in the description box down below. Please don't forget to subscribe and hit that thumbs up button. I would appreciate it. And why would the universe do something like that? It's not because they have a dark or sick sense of humor. It's because 2020 caused a big problem. The person that you care about has a lot of high risk factors for COVID. And so they wouldn't come towards you. They wouldn't come towards you because they didn't think that they had the right to engage your affections when they did not know what was going to happen to them. And in the meantime, apparently you've drawn the focus of somebody that you're unaware of who's coming towards you. And like, not in a creepy fashion, but like it's really going to frustrate you and make you think that maybe you haven't made as much progress as you have, and you have, but you just happen to really love the person who kept you waiting for so long. We're moving on to group number 4. I will see you next week. All right, I have 11 attraction. Good Lord, what is this one going to be about, since every single pile has had something to do with relationships? Here we go. Your candle is gold because gold attracts things. It's the new year. We're trying to attract new beginnings. Let's find out. Prosperity. A prosperous business with riches and success. We will take that. I have love who you are, always, always. Remember, you are lovable just as you are. We're all working on things. Miracles. Expect the wondrous to emerge. Well, that is awesome. All right. I also have focus, your higher self, victim mentality. Okay, victim mentality, your higher self. Think things through. This is the dark mirror, the shadow aspects that we're dealing with this week are calling the storm. Okay, that is you being powerful, by the way. Time for a nap and truth be told. All right. Miracles, huh? After group 3, I'm almost a little nervous. The vice versa tarot deck is bringing us the predictive spread. Let's get going here. What is going on here? Victim mentality, miracles. Listen, victim mentality is a lack mentality. It's also like, going over the wounds of the past and being like, hey, that was very, very unfair. And sometimes genuinely things were very, very unfair. But the only way to thrive is to go forward knowing that we all have our challenges, we all have our burdens, and we all have our things to overcome, and it's not a contest. That like, even if you've had worse things happen to you than like some of the people that you know, that isn't a personal judgment of you. Like, we agree to our existences before we ever get here, and we learn best through adversity. You apparently wanted to learn a lot. Try to keep that in mind when like the things that you're thinking about that have gone wrong, that's the reason, is that you wanted to be challenged to be your highest self, and so a great deal happened to you. We have the moon in reverse, which is not blaming you for anything, by the way. It's just that this is basically a big university. Our energy, our souls come here so that we can learn to do the best with our souls, our higher selves, in a physical expression in the 3D world of who and what we are with the divine. And we just have a tendency to evolve when we are challenged, and we have to choose who we're going to be, because it's very easy to be a wonderful person when there's like no wolf at your door. There's nothing to battle back against. If you have an easy life, it's a lot easier to simply be, kind to everybody and generous, et cetera, et cetera. It is more difficult when you are challenged. And so you chose a life with more challenge because you really have like a tremendous desire to be a better version of yourself. And that, not that there's anything wrong with you, by the way, it's just that that's what you wanted to do. You wanted to evolve in terms of finding the best person that you could be. And it's put a lot of circumstances in your path that were very difficult. And sometimes you can really get caught in that, like, dear God, why did I have to have it so hard? Because you're this exceptionally strong person. And you knew it before you came here. And just remember that you can meet any challenge. I have the moon in reverse, which is clarity. I have the 10 of swords in the upright. Something is done and over. That can be about being stabbed in the back. I do not believe it is in this instance. Page of swords in reverse. I think that's the page. No, I guess it's the king. It might be the knight. He's just, oh, it's the knight. I'm sorry. He's not on a horse, which is why it's a little bit. 7 of swords in reverse, which is clarity as well. I have the 4 of pentacles in the upright. That's been all over the place. I have the Queen of Cups in reverse. The 4 of Cups in the upright. Lots of 4s. 9 of Wands in the upright. Good boundaries. Boy, that's something almost being over, and it's been arduous, but you're getting there. 2 of Wands in the upright. I have the 3 of Pentacles in the upright. 9 of Swords in reverse. Okay. With the, I swear to God, this looks like the exact same card. This is the King of Swords in reverse. This is the Knight of Swords in the upright. I have the Sun. No, I beg your pardon. I have the Judgment card in the upright. With the 3 of Swords in the upright. A little hard. I have the Devil in reverse with the Chariot in reverse, with the 3 of Wands in reverse, with the 8 of Swords in reverse, with the the Emperor in reverse, my least favorite card. I have the Sun in the upright. I have the Hermit in the upright. That's a good card for healing. It can also be the card for Virgos. 3 of Cups in the upright. And I have the Ace of Wands in reverse, and then the 8 of Pentacles in the upright. Okay, so group number 4, interesting read. I know I'm dead silent. I've got something from an exterior source that's upsetting. Like you get word about something that is upsetting to you. And not like deeply, deeply upsetting. The 3 of Swords can be about Corona. It can be about heartbreak. It can be about divorce. You are receiving information on something that discombobulates you. And it kind of defines several days in your life going forward. You handle it actually really quite well. Your intuition serves you exceptionally well in this instance. You've planned and worked hard to make something possible in your life. This in no way changes that. You're being like, there's everything that you've done over the course of the last year or so, it's returning to you. There is so much increase. You're in a very positive and growing cycle, and you've healed so much. You have a vaguely sinister person in your background. Things are being made clear about that person, and it knocks you a little bit off balance to discover that, and this is not something I really enjoy saying, unfortunately, it happens to be part of the cards. Apparently, it's a little bit worse than you thought it was. And that's not that nothing bad is going to happen to you. In fact, really good things are happening for you. But you discover something about a person who has already been very unkind to you, and kind of the depth to which they sank. And it was pretty low. And that's, please be aware of that part, is that you don't be disillusioned. Don't be disillusioned. It doesn't make you naive or foolish or like easily swindled or something. You had somebody do something exceptionally wrong to you, and you thought you already knew all of it, and you don't. There's a piece of information that is going to be landing in your life in the next 2 weeks or so that illuminates more of that. You're going to be super upset by that, but like not in a boo-hoo, my heart is broken way, rather in a everybody assume crash positions way. That's that calling the storm energy, because you can have a good fiery temper on you. For once, the Emperor in reverse is not about emotional abuse. It's that you be prepared, find the way to find your calm, cool center. There's a piece of information coming to you about like this person they did something so underhanded that you have not been able to conceive of it yet. They did something really, really underhanded, and it's going to be coming clear. There's going to be like illuminated facts around that. And that's where that victim mentality card is as well. Remember, the reason that you're finding out about this is you've had a divine rescue squad on your heels the entire time. The miracles card is try to keep that in mind. This was not something that's been easy to discover. You've had to have fortitude, you've had to have perseverance, and you've had to be able to stay the course on something that was very, very difficult for you. But you did it. And just hearing this like one last piece of information is there's no more to come after that, by the way. This revelation is the one that finally is, you can be done with this person's lies. But it's upsetting to you because this was someone, and it does not have to be a romantic relationship. It can be a family relationship. It can be a work relationship. I don't think it's a work relationship. It is somebody that you had trust in, that they betrayed it. There's a betrayal of trust here, and you're going to find out just how deeply they betrayed you. I think there are some revelations around infidelity in a prior relationship. And there's more to it than that. There's more to it than that. You're going to find out what this person really was like, and you kind of know already. But you're a very good person and they're not. And it will upset you. And your spirit guides just want you to know that like they're bringing justice to you. They're bringing justice, and they're sorry. This is not of like, this didn't like, it didn't happen for your husband. This is not one of those situations. You just could not see the aspect of this particular person because you don't possess anything that nasty or dark or terrible inside of you. And it turns out that they're actually really, they were never worthy of you. Try to keep that in mind. You've got a revelation coming up about just how gross this person has been. 6th chakra, Archangel Metatron, that is psychic visions. A woman holding a coin. Try to remember you're winning. It upsets you is the thing. It upsets you, but like you're angry. Envy. The sun is there again. 3rd chakra, Archangel Chamuel. Your personal power is going to carry you through a situation. Your spirit guides just want you to know that like this is one of those situations where you could be explosively angry with them. Remember that the reason you're finding this out is because you've been guided and guided and guided towards this revelation and towards this clarity. And that's the part that your spirit guide and your higher self blamed. They did. It's not appropriate to blame them for what this person did to you. And I know I'm stalling on this because it's very, very difficult to say. This person hurt you so much, and they did it intentionally, and they lied to you, and they stole from you, and they cheated on you. And don't let them define the rest of humanity for you, and don't let them make you feel like you're a fool. The whole reason they were able to do all of that to you is you're just a remarkably good person, and you did not see it. As something becomes clear to you, and it's going to be becoming clear to you very soon, you're going to find out how far back this bad behavior went, and it went back pretty far. You cannot change the past, and you did so much work to heal it already. Just add it to the pile of, well, I already knew you sucked, but I guess you really, really suck. And try to remember that the reason you're finding this out is the divine loves you so much that they like basically sent power troopers in to extract you from the situation. And they have very methodically made sure that you are going to triumph. But the information is difficult for you. And understand that there is a lot. Bone collector, wide open sheepers. Okay, I've got one ring circus, stuck in the mud, rock bottom. Bone collector is about healing like past slights, formative damage with wide open. The thing is that what you're going to find out makes a great many things possible. It's just that it disillusions you still more. And it's very difficult for you to not start to view the rest of the world that way. And your spirit guides are really, really driving down on the please remember why and how you're finding this out. It is because the divine, your spirit guides, actual freaking miracles all over the place have been trying to make sure that you're okay. And by the way, the other person does not enjoy that kind of protection. They're really, really in for it this time. They would do well to hide, pretty much. They're not going to. They're not going to because they're very, 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 very arrogant. You will live a wonderful life after this. You have one last piece of information to come to you, and they just kind of are trying to like wrap you in bubble wrap beforehand. And don't let your imagination run away with you here. Don't. It's not quite what you think it is. It's not quite what you think it is. They're afraid it's going to be a setback for you because you've been working so hard to try and find a way to trust again. And it was difficult for you for a long time. You were looking at almost like it's mostly in romantic capacities, you view almost everybody with a slight suspicion. Your life is kind of beautiful and expansive. The person who hurt you so much, their life is like, it's increasingly horrible. It genuinely is, in ways that you don't know about. In ways that you don't know about, this person is thwarted. They are actually being punished. And that's something that it's very important to you that like there be some form of justice. And to you, it doesn't look like there has been any. There's been a lot. There's been a lot. They've got things going on that you don't know about, and try to keep that in mind because information is uncovered that is going to be very dispiriting to you. It is not quite as bad as I'm making it sound, but it does knock you down once again into the energy of like, why would you let that happen to me? And they are just reminding you not to blame, but you made a series of choices even after you had been directly told you shouldn't do this anymore. And you were directly told that on multiple occasions, but you didn't want to let go of something that was very, very important to you because you were just too wrapped up in it. And they eventually, they moved timelines, heaven and earth, everything they could do. You're exceptionally important to them, and they love, 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 love you. Keep that part in mind. The reason that you're finding this out is because they love, 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 love you. Free yourself. It's time to take back control of your life. Past life relationship, engagement, your love life is moving to a higher level of commitment. Like on the other side of this revelation, by the way, is a soulmate connection. And you were kept from it because there was just too much going on. You shouldn't have. You needed to focus on this particular, you needed a lot of your energy for this particular battle. What you find out is not as earth-shattering as it at first seems. Remember, this is just one person. They are not indicative of other people. There's something deeply, deeply, deeply wrong with that person. And that is not your fault. The fact that you could not see that they are evil is not because you're foolish. It's because you're exceptionally good. And they knew that about you. They knew that about you. And every time that you think they just got away with it, how could you possibly do this to me? please remember there are things that have already happened you don't know about, and there's more to come. And there is no way on this earth that you could realistically say they're going to get away with it. They have been, everything has been trying to conspire to take away what they took from you. And that's what your spirit guides want you to know. This will be a bit of a blow. Instead of looking at it from the, like, because a lot of stuff has already come to light that you're just like, oh God, like it took a lot to get through. There's that little bit more. And please don't let it dishearten you, because the whole reason that you know about it is that you are beloved, you are protected, and that person is not. And they do have what they deserve coming to them. They do. You had to get this strong to be able to take this, is the thing. And that makes it sound really, really, really terrible. It's not that terrible. It's just everything that you already know, kind of multiply it by 5. It's worse than you thought, but it's all the same stuff that you thought, basically. So that is coming to you within the first few weeks of January. After you've been kind of knocked sideways by that, apparently you have love coming back into your life, and they just wanted to kind of clear that stage. They didn't want, there's something going on with the relationship that is important to you, that it has some connection to that situation. And it was held back from you by that other person because they know something, and no, they didn't participate in hurting you. They didn't. They've been waiting because they knew you would find out. All right, so that was the tiniest bit confusing. And I'm sorry if it sounded super duper ominous. Please don't be afraid. There's nothing for you to be afraid of. Nothing. It is just, you did a lot of work to recover from an emotional injury. And this might feel like this will just open up every wound again. Remember, all that you're finding out is that it is to a degree worse than you thought it was, but it's all the same stuff that you thought it was. And you're not foolish. You're very, very protected. And you were right to love the person that you do love now. The person you used to be involved with who hurt you so much, they're not getting away with anything. Okay. All right, so that was the Spirit Guide Weekly for the first week of the new year. Lots of movement, lots of progress, some revelations, some of them less comfortable than others, and apparently a lot of new relationships developing. Thank you so much for joining me. I will see you next week. I'm sorry I've only been having enough time recently to get out one video a week, and it's usually this one. I've just been a little bit overscheduled, and I will likely continue to be for a little bit longer, but I appreciate every single one of you. Thank you for joining me. Happy New Year. We made it to 2021, and I hope it is a year that blesses us